What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? So we are back again for another week of Beyond the Gates. This is season 1, episode 69 to 73. Honestly, nothing much happened, okay? And when I say nothing much, I mean the storyline moved along, but we really just focused on a couple of things for real, for real. And let me get the people out the way that I need to get up out the way. Ashley and Derek, girl, we don't care. I know y'all like, here we go. Yes. You know what? They could have literally swapped out Ashley and Derek's characters and their storyline for the week, okay? And give us, Doug and Vanessa, okay, and Joey, because I really want to know what's going to happen with that. That is way more interesting and way more intriguing than this Ashley and Derek. And I need them to stop trying to make Andre and Ashley fetch, okay? Like, stop trying to make fetch happen with them. We don't want to see it. Listen to your audience. They're boring together. Derek and Ashley, boring together. They don't fit the mold of this show. They just don't. Okay. You got their relationship is kind of off. Okay. After all of the stuff that has been going on, them moving in too soon, and then saying that they're not going to move in anymore, live with each other anymore. They're both going to their respective friends. You got Ashley talking to Andre. You got Derek talking to Naomi, basically about what's going on and how things feel off. Like, there's nothing wrong, but the relationship just feels different. Yeah, you just went through a time where you just feel like, is this gonna rock the boat with my relationship? Okay, your relationship got to go through a little bit of an adjustment, and that's basically what's going on. They're going through a little bit of an adjustment, and it gets to the point where Ashley is confiding way too much into Andre, if you ask me. And it's like, girl, are you that naive? Even if I didn't know what was going on, I could see that, girl, I shouldn't be talking as much to this man about all this stuff, and he giving me Google eyes, okay? Like, come on, he getting all the lowdown, and he putting it in his mind what he needs to do once you break up with Derek, or once he get Derek to break up with you, okay? And so, basically, Derek, this the part that don't make sense to me. He's sitting there with Naomi, telling them about, or telling her about the relationship. I think he even had a conversation with, Jacob or whatever. But in this particular moment, we fast forwarding in the last episode. Had a conversation with Naomi about, the relationship feeling off and all that stuff or whatever. But then he said, he wanted to meet up with Ashley, have like a little dinner or something like that. He wanted to do something that he felt like he should have been did. Naomi is like, sir, what you talking about? You mean to tell me you really want to do this? Are you sure? And I'm like, what you talking about? Baby, please don't tell me what you about to do, what I think you're about to do. Ashley, on the other hand, she over there freaking out, okay? She talked to Andre, freaking out about what he gonna do. Oh my God, so he want to take me out to break up with me? Girl, are you stupid? Like, the way that they have, and I feel like this is what it is. They have Ashley character just being really dumb sometimes, and she just overthinks, and she jumps the gun all the goddamn time, and she can't wait until she plays things out. She just automatically assumes the worst. Like, why are you with this man if this is what you feel? I'm just going to dress up, and I'm just going to be dressed up so nice or whatever and look so good and show him what he's going to be missing when he breaks up with me. Girl, he finna take you out to a nice ass restaurant. Is Derek really that cold hearted to take you to a nice restaurant, or at least your favorite restaurant, because they go to Orphan or whatever? Your favorite restaurant, have you dress up to break up with you? Why would he do that? Like, he keeps proclaiming that he loves you down, and you keep on saying that this a good man, Savannah. It's like, why do you not know that your man, or think that your man would do something so evil to you when ain't nothing going on with y'all? Y'all good for the most part, right? And I'm just like, this is so stupid. So I'm just going to get there, and I'm going to tell him off and all this stuff. And when they finally get there, he's dressed up, you're dressed up, bitch. He about to goddamn propose to you. Oh, so you're going to break up with me and all this stuff. And well, I said, girl, calm your titties down, okay? Just sitting there looking stupid after he said, bitch, I'm finna propose to you. Here's the thing, okay? You can't live together. Y'all had that little mini trial run, but you want to get married that quick or get engaged that quick? Because, baby, I'm going to have to live with you before, we actually make this thing official. Because I need to know if we can be compatible in that area. And if we can't, baby, we either ain't going to have to, it ain't going to work, or we're going to have to stay in separate places. Okay? And that's just really what it's going to be, And I was just like, if y'all don't get out of my face with this. And, of course, Andre, he's salty. He's so salty. All right? He had this little conversation with Danny. He want to be out in the open so bad. You want to be out in the open so bad. And let me tell you something, Danielle, a person like me, girl, you get one too many times. After the second or third time, girl, I'm going to be tired of you talking about your ex. And then I just know after the second time, I'll be over, because this is a man that you said caused you so much pain because he did you so dirty. And you was up here harping on it. And I get it. That's the man that you know. That's the man that you love. And all that stuff. But, baby, I don't want to hear that. That ain't what I came over here for. I ain't come over here to hear nothing about your ex who has moved on. And I'm trying to move on with you. Girl, no. Okay? Andre popping up in that house. In the little, side house or whatever. With Kat and what's her name, Chelsea, and he was like, "Daddy, woman, where you at?" I said, "What?" The cat's out the bag, okay? And it was like, well, I said, yeah, sorry, just go ahead and say that y'all playing around with each other. So basically, they using Danny's spare house. What is it called? I know what it's called, but it's on the tip of my tongue, and not guest house. There it is. Using the guest house as their supply, where they're going to set up operation for their business, right? And then they're also going to live there together. I said, child, please. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I ain't trying to live with nobody. I'm trying to get, no. But all right, we going to see how this works. And then speaking of Chelsea, baby, what's going on with Chelsea and Miss Doctor? She finally realized who she was. And Madison, she played that shit cool when Chelsea came up in there and she saw who she was. She was like, oh my God, you're his daughter? How are you? And what's your name? I said, what? Me and Chelsea was looking like, okay, well, bitch, I can play along too, but I got questions. Madison said, baby, I'm trying to keep it professional in my job. I don't care what it is, who I know, how we do this or whatever, how many encounters we had. Girl, I'm trying to keep it professional. And I said, well, explain how come you trying to act like you don't know this lady. Explain how come you just be popping up and leaving out of everybody and you don't even say nothing, hi, bye, how you doing, nothing like that. And she was like, girl, the thing of the matter is, like, I just can't get over the fact, like, you're really in my face. You know what I'm saying? I follow you. You're this world-class, supermodel and all of this. And I said, oh, so you a fan? Yeah, I'm a fan of your Get Ready With Me's and all that stuff. And I said, you know what, Miss Montgomery? I'll give you a little pass. I'll give you a little pass on that one. Because she did kind of loosen up a little bit. Next week, we're going to see them little kissy kiss. Now, let me tell you something, Chelsea. How long y'all been talking for you to be asking her what she got on? That is so... Girl, I am at work. What do you think I got on? I got on scrubs, okay? That's what I got on. I got on my white coat, all right? I was like, girl, just ask her what type of underwear she got on. I said, bitches really be doing that? I would never. No, you show me. Okay, but that was cute. I'm still on the fence a little bit, but I'm okay with it for right now. But I'm not 100% in, cause I don't know, something about Miss Madison. Maybe I'm thinking that something should be wrong because it's the soap opera world, and you know how lesbians be. But like Madison said, I also played it out because I didn't know if you was out to your peoples yet. And I said, you know what, Madison, you do get a point for me for that. Okay, cool. Well, she out to everybody practically that needs to know that she wants to know except for her daddy. And let's talk about the daddy girl. Billary. Billiam is in that hospital because Billiam had a little stroked it. He stroked it a little bit. And what is bothering me about this whole situation is I knew this was going to happen as soon as we first saw that hand twitch. That hand said early on in the season, I said, I know we not. everybody hates Bill, okay? Everybody hates Bill and Haley, right? So you give him a little stroke it, and that everybody want to be okay. We ain't all the way there, but we done loosened up the hate on them. I said, wait. Hey, the writer's better than me, because these characters, girl, if this was real life, y'all know I wouldn't. Listen, you did all of this stuff. It's hate forever. I'm sorry. I can't let that go. Okay, you gonna have to work a little bit harder. A little stroke that ain't gonna turn around and make me do nothing. My goddamn daddy died. I still can't stand a motherfucker. Like, what? What? That ain't gonna move me to pieces. Okay? But Naomi feeling some type of way. You know, the girls is there supporting. Danny is there. Of course, let me tell you something. Haley, it's over. You gonna have to step it up a little bit, mama. Okay? Just being this young, fresh thing off the boat. You know, just being young and all this stuff. I don't think it's gonna cut it. Because Danny and Bill got real history, and as much as he wants to try to act like he didn't give a damn about Danny, he gives all the damns about her. And listen, soon as he get that shit together, he gonna fuck around on you with Danny, cause he ain't had no problem with Danny popping up. Okay, he may act like a certain way, but he love it when Danny pop up. He want that girl to he just want to know that lady still care for him, cause she loves him down, and deep in his heart he still love her down. He just a do dirt ain't shit nigga. That's just really what it is. Okay, every time she popped up in that hospital room taking care of him, you just see the smile or the little smirk come up on his face. I said, oh, and Haley just standing there all uneasy or whatever. Did you see when they popped up in the hospital the first time in her room, well, in his room when he first had the stroke, and Haley ran over there and gave Naomi that hug? Oh my God, I can't believe you guys are here. I'm so scared. La, 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 la. I was like, girl, I wouldn't be featured. Get off of me. Okay, is my daddy all right? All right, I'm out. Okay, you let me know if something bad happened. Don't call me for nothing else. Okay, but truth be told, don't call me for nothing else, period. Okay, I'm telling you, I'm just that person. I'm sorry. Once you hurt me that bad, girl, it's no coming back. It really is. Like, I cut off family for that, you know, and it's just crazy. I said, not we giving Haley a in, making her feel like she got to weigh in just a little bit, you know, like the ice is defrosting, okay? And I get it, you know, they grew up that way, whatever, I guess, but I'm just saying, me personally, just wouldn't be me. But of course, they would have to do something so that they can't be continually hating Bill throughout the season. Yes, you can. Okay, yes, you can. You know, and Bill being a big ass baby, meaning that he can't follow instructions. He don't want to go ahead and do the physical therapy. You want to get out the hospital so bad, right? Go ahead and just do the physical therapy. Do what you got to do. And Shanice, she's a jack of all trades. Not only is she the head nurse, not only is she probably the supervisor, not only is she the gossip in the goddamn hospital, she know everybody goddamn tea. She also a damn physical therapist. I said, you know what? I like you because you can pull out anything, bitch. She probably know how to do surgery too. Truth be told, she probably know how to do it, okay? But Bill tried to say, now bitch, how long you been doing? She said, I've been doing this ever since I got here and before, okay? So like, what's good? I'm very much qualified. Don't even try me, Bill. All right, ball up this paper with your right hand. Girl, I said that right hand was shaking. It said, I said, oh my God, Bill. And see, I really do appreciate the fact that they're showing this, because they're showing how subtle strokes can be. Now, he didn't have a big stroke. I don't understand how that wasn't a big stroke, but if it was a big stroke, he probably would be paralyzed, and he probably would be, you clearly see it on his face and on his limbs, okay? Because with some people having strokes, some different type of strokes, sometimes people have strokes and don't even know that they having strokes. Some people can have many strokes, multiple back-to-back, and don't even know. My granddaddy was having back-to-back mini strokes and had no idea, okay? Until I don't know what happened that made him go to the hospital, but he just didn't know that he was having mini strokes. Some people had these little strokes or whatever, and they look completely fine. sometimes I feel like when people think about strokes, whatever you're looking for, that right side or that left side of the face just being drooped or numbed or, just, like this or whatever. And sometimes it just don't do that. And then, yeah, it's always, I remember because I had to go to the hospital once and they was like, do this whole thing or whatever. They holding the hands up for a good 5 seconds or so. And when that arm dropped, I said, yeah, stroke. I'm so sorry. But that's a sign, bitch. Okay, you got a little bit of weakness. You got a little bit of weakness in that right arm, okay? And so you got to get that built back up, But, Bill is going to be all right. He is such a big old nagging ass baby. Like, do what you got to do to get up out the hospital, okay? Moving on from them. We get this whole situation with, Smitty and Martin. Smitty got a new story, right? They want him to do a story on Marcellus Morales. Now, let me tell you something. I said, where the hell is Marcel at? We brought Marcel on the show a few weeks ago, probably a couple of months ago, once or twice, and we ain't seen him ever since today. And I said, oh, shit, bitch, there you go. Smitty got to do a story on him. And I said, soon as Smitty brought that up and brought his name up, right? Martin started having little flashbacks, okay? He started having flashbacks to his little dream and everything, to his little situation. And then he had his, one of his staff members came over and was telling him about one of his constituents who got robbed and who got beat up, very bad, severely. Seriously injured in the hospital and all that stuff. He telling him what happened and he describing the whole scene. So basically, he was up in his shop, right? Hey, how you doing? What's going on? And all of a sudden, these people come up in there, put down the stuff, bang, 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 bang. He was giving all the details. I'm sitting here listening to it like, God damn, did he pinch? What happened? Give me some popcorn. Okay, because he was very thorough. He was very thorough in everything. And to the point that Martin was just up there all of a sudden, he had a fucking hallucination or he dozed out and he had one of them little flashes in broad daylight of him. And I said, Now, when we used to see the little flashbacks or whatever, his memory coming through, that he don't want to let us know about, baby, you gonna have to, because we a little concerned, because we tired of playing guess the crime of what Martin did. Did you run over somebody with a car? That's what I thought. Now at this point, it's like, you fighting somebody? Because that's what it was in this flashback. Then when he was talking to the granddad, he talked about he kept on hearing the thing of, what, is money green? Show me the money green or something like that. I said, oh my God, Martin, what did you do? And at first I was trying to figure out, do he really remember what he did? Or was he kind of lying about it when he was talking to Nicole about it? And I said, now hold up. He was acting like he didn't know, and I realized this is what it was. Because he can't fully tell his mama what happened, right? Because it's going to put the family in jeopardy, They're trying to let people, the less people know, the better, okay? Because at this point, I think it's just the grandparents and Bill who knows about what happened with Martin. He don't want to bring in the mom or anything else. Don't want to put that on her, and especially the fact that she's going through what she's going through with Ted. No, we're not finna do that. Meanwhile, that guy that is, following him, girl, can you be even more obvious? It's so irritating. Baby, the way Vernon was about to get up in that ass too, it was like, you told your mama? What? I'm trying to process this. What the hell is your problem? Why would you do that? I said, kids these days should try to help them out, and they go around and fuck it all up, okay? That's just really how it is, okay? They think they know it all. But he really wants them visions to stop. Baby, I'm going to tell you this. You got to come clean. You have to come clean. That is your conscience playing on you so bad and saying, baby, we got to clear this. We got to clear this. And that's the only way for them to stop, all right? And I'm really glad he yoked up old boy, but at the same time, I'm kind of not, because dude is literally getting information off of him, and I'm pretty sure it has to do with politics, like his opponent or whatever, trying to get some information. and him looking over his shoulder, reading his stuff in his phone and everything, and then saying the color money green or something like that in his ear. Bitch, yeah, you would have got stumped out too. You better hope Martin didn't put a shoe print on your face. Cause you, it was like a trigger word. You know what I'm saying? It was like, when they be brainwashing people and they had that one phrase or that one word that make them just go all chaotic and stuff. That's what it was. That's how he looked up like. I said, oh my God, Martin, what you about to do? Please stay seated. Don't act a fool. Don't be like Danny. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't show your ass, okay? You got a lot more to lose than her. But, you got that going on. Pola Mart, baby, just come clean, okay? Just come clean. Meanwhile, you got Anita over there, her friends, her and her homegirls, they made up. Basically. Tracy had to sit their asses down and say, bitch, we've all been through some shit. Now, at the end of the day, I can't be going around with this hate in my heart. I can't keep going around with y'all not talking and all that stuff. Like, shit happened. We got to get the fuck over it. We old as shit, and we're grown as hell. Let's get together and have some more memories and make up for lost time and get this money. Sharon said, well, you know what? You absolutely correct, because I'm so tired of going around being mad or whatever. I said, Sharon, all right, Miss Girly. And they went down to Chicago to go rehearse. Anita left that night. She left that night. Ain't gonna be gone on a few weeks. I said, oh, it must be nice to be able to just pick up and go and have a husband that's so understanding that I'm finna be gone for a few weeks, not a couple of days, a few weeks. And I just went on ahead and did it without talking to you. Oh, okay. I hope it works out well for the girlies, That's cute though. What else went on in this episode? Kat excuse me. Kat, Inspector Gadget Kat. When I tell you, she's irritated me now because she almost got the case just messed up. Like, stay in fashion. And if this is what you want to do, this investigation stuff, baby, maybe you need to go back to school to do it, because it seems like you'll be a good at it, but at the same time, you're a little rough around the edges because this ain't your forte. Jacob trying to tell a girl, leave the shit alone. Okay? This girl went and took the motorcycle helmet and gloves back over there to Leslie's house after going to her home and trying to make it seem like we're going to have a truce, okay? I'm not going to say nothing else about you. You don't say nothing else about me. We don't come around each other. You don't come around my family. It is what it is. Leslie said, bitch, I thought you was coming over here to apologize, okay? She said apologize for fucking what? Absolutely not. So while Leslie was on the phone, it was actually Tomas, okay? While she was on the phone with Tomas, because she had called up there to Bill's office trying to talk to Bill or whatever. So Tomas had returned the phone call because Bill is in the hospital. She's on the phone with him, and at this point, Kat goes over there to her window because she did tell her to go to the side while she takes this call. Kat goes over there to the window and opens it up, unlocks it. She did all of this so that she can come back when Leslie was gone. And Leslie was out there talking to Tomas. And I'm like, why are you talking to these people? Basically, she want to fix her just like Ted got to fix her and all that stuff to clear up her shit. Why would you think that was going to happen? Leslie is stupid. If you really think about it, she is really dumb sometimes, okay? Not sometimes. This whole thing is just not really playing out well the way that she thinks that it is, okay? Kat spider monkeys her ass into the window, right? She takes the bag with the helmet and the gloves, open it up, and put it in a bench that's in Leslie's couch in her house, in her little apartment. And then, Tad showed us appearance, okay? I said, hey, Tad, how you doing? Tad said, I'm cool. I'm just sitting here waiting to be used. Sponsor me. And so you got that. And, of course, she tells Jacob that there's a possibility that something's going on, and to cause him to go back over there, search her place again. And well and behold, they find the helmet and the glove. He can't do nothing with it because the judge or whoever don't want to give a warrant to arrest her or whatever and to use the helmet and the glove because, one, they don't have her DNA. They don't want the warrant. Well, they ain't getting the warrant to get her DNA. That's just what it is, because of the simple fact that why is it that in the first search you didn't find this, but in the second search you found this so conveniently, right? Cat fucking the shit up. And I'm telling you, when I saw Cat put that helmet in that them gloves up in there, I said, Cat, what are you doing? You are just, I'm like, what if she finds it on her own and she takes it and put it away, and then what evidence would you have? You gave her the evidence, but unfortunately that didn't happen. But still, they didn't have the DNA to test it, and the judge wasn't going to sign off on the warrant. So what she gonna do is cut corners by talking to Mona and have Mona, play along with it. And see, like, she want to talk to Leslie and get her to come down there, making it seem like they finna make nice just to get her little DNA, which she did. And then Mona said, you know what, bitch, I can't sit here and fake the funk with your ass. What you did was trifling as shit, okay? You really... I understand what you're trying to say about, having your daughter around and, having a father for your child and all that stuff. I get that. It's just the way that you went about this whole situation, because there was no reason that you needed to break up that marriage like that. There was no reason that you needed to put this shit on full display and do it at their anniversary the way that you did. There was no reason for you to come after Nicole, because Nicole don't know you. Nicole don't owe you shit, and Nicole didn't do shit to you. Okay? So what you did was foul as fuck. All right. And I'll never be able to forgive that. I can't get over that shit. Like, girl, what? Leslie had the nerves to sit there and say, you know what? You're really cruel. What you did was really vile, to actually lure me down here, have me thinking that you were going to be my friend again. I said, bitch, you're done for that. And then you're really probably even more mean than what you say that I am. I said, no, bitch. Apples and oranges, okay? Apples and oranges. Girl, you're worse than what she did. And what she did didn't do, she ain't do nothing. Okay? You literally broke up a marriage. You literally tried to blackmail. You did all of these disgusting things. You literally almost attempted to murder somebody. Okay? But you trying to equate that to Mona basically telling your ass off about how wrong you were as being mean and hurting your feelings. What about Nicole's feelings? Nicole didn't do nothing to you, and Nicole didn't owe nothing to you, but you hurt hers, okay? Now, bitch, next week episode, on that preview, Nicole come up in there to see Ted, and she had that manila envelope. What the fuck was in there? And it seemed so serious. Please don't let that be divorce papers. If it is, I'm going to be like, okay, but at the same time, I'm going to feel a little hurt, because honestly, I don't want them to break up, okay? I want them to be able to get past this, but I can understand if they can't. But at the same time, oh my God, like, girl, wait, what's going to happen? But at the same time, Teddy, Theodore, you're going to have to start doing something to get Nicole back. Carlton, that works at your job, the way that he said you need to be putting in the goddamn work to try to get that lady back. And he said, if I was you, baby, first of all, if I was you, I would have never done this shit. So I never would have been up in this goddamn predicament. I said, you know what, Carlton? Stop. Carlton finna come in and swoop Nicole up. Okay, like, oh, girl. You about to lose your woman, Ted. Wow, Carlton in them pants and that tight ass shirt. Yeah, you about to lose your woman for a second, okay? Either that or your daughter about to get with him, because when she got introduced to him for real this time, he was like, I was like, what type of energy y'all got going on? Because Ted took it upon himself to want to hire Eva to work as the medical assistant, office assistant in his practice, because that was Kat's job, and Kat's no longer doing it for right now because she's doing her actual business with Chelsea. You sit this lady down and you tell her that, and you think that your your full daughter is gonna be like okay with this? Girl, no. Eva was trying to tell her, like, listen, I understand. Now, Eva, I get it. She had a little conversation with Nicole. Nicole came over there to her hotel room, and, they had a little conversation. Eva tried to apologize. Eva was like, I was so fucked up for what I did, because at the end of the day, I need y'all to go ahead and get back together, because I know it may sound selfish, but it'll make me feel better. It'll make me forgive myself for what I did to y'all. And at that point, I would have been petty and would have been like, bitch, please. But Nicole said, girl, I forgive you, and walked out. Now, see, Eva, you thought that you was about to be into somebody or get into somebody's family that were really, really terrible people. And come to find out, they weren't terrible people. Come to find out, Nicole, one of the nicest, one of the most trusting, one of the most, inviting people ever. You grew to love her. She grew to respect you, and she probably even loved you too. And you messed that up. And you knew that you did. And I really feel like in the back in her mind, Eva wanted, at one certain point, she probably wished that Nicole was her mama. Yeah, she did. I could just tell. She wants to still work with Nicole. She don't want to do the hair. She wants to be in that atmosphere like that. That's the reason why Ted said, okay, well, come and work at my job. And you can do that office shit too if that's what you really want. But yeah, Laura, having Eva come over to help her with the program that's on the computer, whatever, and Eva realizing that it's really just a ploy to get her to come over there and talk. Girl, you could have talked to me on the phone, okay? That's just really what it was. All you could have did was text me and say, I really feel like Nicole misses you, and I really want y'all to get this back together, okay? That's what it is. Laura, you smiling a lot at Eva. What's tea with that? You like her? It is Pride Month. I think everybody kind of gave a little bit, just a little slight. But y'all think that would be something if Eva and Nicole actually make up and become cool way before Ted and Nicole. But it'd be understandable because truth be told, Ted really did the wrong thing because they wouldn't truly be in this situation had he not did what he did. And if he did what he did, had he not just went on ahead and told her in enough time before it could get to this place. You know what I'm saying? So he's really more to blame than anybody. But yeah, Kat, and Jacob is just going along with the stuff. Jacob going along with it. Leslie keep popping up. And when they did that little sting operation in the little diner or whatever, when Mona was getting the DNA, you mean to tell me because of the way that they were sitting, Leslie didn't see Kat over there? And Leslie didn't put two and two together that you could possibly be doing something with her? Like, girl, what? All right, if you say so. But yeah, what else happened up in this week? Anita went to Chicago. Vernon trying to get Martin together. Bill and Haley still up in the hospital. He doing physical therapy. Ashley and Derek, Andre and Danny finna get found out. And let me tell you something. I ain't like the way Danny was flirting with Tomas when she first came up in that room and saw him. Ran up into him, but then she flipped that shit on his ass when they was in that hospital and said, yeah, you finna date my cousin, my baby, my niece. You fuck around with her, baby, you gonna have me to deal with, and you don't want that. I said, ooh. All right. If you say so, Danielle. But yeah, and I feel like I'm missing something. Because we didn't give Doug and Vanessa this week. I really wanted that to continue. For real. But anyway, if I did miss something, put it in the comments. We discuss how y'all feel like next week gonna show up, how it's gonna happen. Y'all think Martin gonna beat that man ass for real? Do you think his secret about to come out? You think Ted about to get divorce papers? Oh, please, not yet. It's too early. I'm rooting for Ashley and Derek to break up and get the fuck up off my TV. I'm sorry. Let me get up off here, y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of your week. Well, actually, it's Friday. Enjoy your weekend. I gotta work. So have fun for me, okay? And I will see you guys later. Peace.